the Sponsorship Experts Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sponsorship Experts Podcast. We're here with Paul, the founder of the Sponsorship Experts. Hi Paul, how are you? And what can we expect in the joint December 2021 and January 2022 podcast?
I'm very well, thank you, Jay. In this episode of the podcast, we take a closer look at current sponsorship opportunities and news, including a look back at the year past to thank all our clients, sponsors and partners for their continued trust, our appointment by Global Event Management to develop a comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership program for Blockchain World and Game On Global Gaming Festival, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Thailand, and the Together Revolution. We also take a closer look at gaming and esports and the world of gaming influencers.
The latest newsletter out now that you can find at paulpaul.co.th has a number of new and exciting commercial sponsorship and partnership opportunities available. But before we look into them, it's been a very interesting year for us all. How was 2021 for you and the team?
The sponsorship industry, like many other industries, have had yet another difficult year. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel and most events returned, albeit in an altered form. Although live events have in some instances been cancelled, we were pleased to see many go forward with a hybrid of live and online components. We enjoyed our continued collaboration with some of the biggest names in sport in Southeast Asia, including Banriki 67 Professional Motocross Compound, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, COSOFE Road to Thailand, Game On Global Gaming Festival, GFNY, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG Esports ROV, Shatra Sports, Sports Authority of Thailand, Sports Authority of Thailand for the 6th Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games, Bangkok Chonburi 2021, Super Sports Laguna Phuket Marathon, Team BB, Team BM, the Takraw League, Thai Wrestling Association, Thailand Circuit Motorsport Complex, Thailand Health Fitness and Wellness Expo, WTF Football Classic, WTF Legends Cricket Match, and the WTF Muay Thai Fight Series. In terms of non-sport, things are also looking brighter. We're pleased to continue our work with key players including Big Idea Food Competition, Blockchain World, Chef's Market, Dinner in the Sky, Gastronomer Food Awards, Hotels TV, Cadaroc Super Yacht Rendezvous, Oceans for All Foundation, Route the Future, Thailand International Boat Show, the Together Revolution, Whisky Live Thailand, and Werther Kinder. Throughout the year, we have also continued to strengthen our position as the leading commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing agency in the region. During the year, we signed a full-service agreement with the Sports Authority of Thailand for the 6th Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games, Bangkok Chonburi 2021. In addition, we signed a strategic alliance with Icarus Sports to offer high-quality content creation for events. And we adopted SportsCred's social media sponsorship platform, offering clubs, sport organisations, agencies and brands a one-stop tool to monetize social media on a large scale. We also announced several keynote speakers and workshop hosts for our annual training workshops, Sponsorship Part 1 and Part 2, including Desmond Hughes and Robert Krupuka, Senior Partners, and Siri Kwantan, Senior Associate of Hughes Krupuka, Dan Harvey, Director of Business Development, and Isra Narin, Territory and Partnership Manager, Thailand Reverse Ads, Paul Pendholt, Founder of Sponsorium International, and Nigel Jones, Managing Director and Founder of the Purple Tangerine. On a final note, we enter 2022 with a strong roster of opportunities in the sports and non-sports categories. For a full list of our current opportunities, current and past clients, sponsors and partners, please visit our website, paulpaul.co.th.
Things are looking better for 2022 and exciting news for you regarding your company's appointment to develop a comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership program for Blockchain World 2022 and Game On Global Gaming Festival 2022. Can you tell us a little more about these?
We're proud to announce our appointment by Global Event Management, GEM, to develop a comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership program for Blockchain World 2022 and Game On Global Gaming Festival 2022. GEM is a leading fully integrated event management, creative communications and experiential marketing agency headquartered in Dubai, UAE. With over 30 years of experience in the Middle East, GEM has organised over 4,000 events and launched more than 500 companies, new brands and products across the globe. Blockchain World incorporates the informative DCS Summit, the world's first Helicon studio, an immersive blockchain and NFT show and activations that talk about the future vision of digital technology, with a live studio audience and exclusive celebrity guests. Over 20,000 people attend to meet with and learn alongside the most influential industry innovators and decision makers. The event is also attended by 200 experts in blockchain, digital currencies, crypto, NFT, and blockchain technologies, discussing the future of a rapidly growing global digital space. Finally, at the event is also more than 2,000 leading industry enterprises, offering visionary insights and frontline opinions delivered in a live and on-demand format. With a portfolio covering esports, tournaments and activations, gaming broadcast studios, as well as virtual gaming events, Game On Global Gaming Festival is a 360 solution to gaming and esports in the Middle East and Africa. Game On Global Gaming Festival events attract thousands of gamers and esports enthusiasts, as well as global brands wanting to engage with this highly involved and loyal customer base. We are extremely pleased to enter into this new agreement with GEM and look forward to working in this dynamic space.
The gaming and esports industry is something that I've started to follow, and I got time recently to talk to one of the sponsorship experts' clients, Marcus Lur, who is the founder and group CEO of Total Sports Asia. And I asked Marcus about the growth of gaming and esports, specifically in Thailand over the past 5 to 10 years.
The whole industry across the world has grown tremendously in the last 10 years. The gaming industry has been around much longer. Depends on how you want to count. It goes all the way back to the first Ataris and other sort of little, basic games you would play on the first computers, whatever computer that maybe was, which you used at that time. But again, most people don't go that far back to go to the roots of it, really, right? So yes, the last 10 years it's gone and it exploded globally. Thailand is no different. It was maybe the Thai gaming industry is now, the numbers I've seen, it was about $1 billion in itself out of that 200 billion, I guess, around the world. It's a significant amount of money which is being generated here. The biggest player probably in the country is Garena, which is Singapore company listed on a New York Stock Exchange, a $200 billion company now. And they control a large chunk of what's happened in gaming in Southeast Asia, not just in Thailand, as a publisher. So the publisher means you're not necessarily the guy who built the game. Your job is to promote and you bring the game into the market, right? So you're spending marketing dollars, you're creating competitions. So Garena is the one who owns the Pro League, the Arena Vela Pro League here, which where we have our team in. So there are a very significant part. And then you have others, of course, Tencent, the big Chinese company, NetEase, and many others from around the world who are having a presence here, in Asia. And all those companies are now large multi-billion dollar businesses on the back of the games they're bringing into the market and then getting players to play. What's interesting, I think, is that what really drove the growth here in the region is the mobile side of it. So, having a game you play on a console means you have to buy the console, and these games traditionally were quite expensive. Same if you want to play on your computer, that still means you need a fairly decent computer, with some graphic cards and stuff. And again, a lot of the PC games traditionally were games you have to pay for, right? So there's just a natural barrier of entry there. What took off and it is now the number one pretty much all around the world, and for sure here in Southeast Asia, is the mobile side. The mobile games means you play on your phone, and a majority of them are free, or almost all of them free, right? So there's a completely different business model for these developers. Now that doesn't mean they're not making lots of money with it, but it's slightly different. So you're not paying to download the game. The game is free and you can do whatever you want to do. And then they upsell you within the game, right? It's so-called in-game purchases, right? So whether that means you want to look different, you want to have different strengths or different skills, that's how, skins is what they're called. That's what you get interested in. And that gets, and these game developers become very creative. So again, keeping our buddies here, Garena, they did a deal with Cristiano Ronaldo last year, and he was now in the game. It's called Free Fire, which is, again, a very popular game here in Thailand. And so all of a sudden you can run around in the game as Cristiano Ronaldo, which is kind of cool, right? And so that's sort of where they generate their revenue, and it's large.
You've created Hubba, which is a ultimate hub for the serious gamer and stream in Thailand. What is Hubba and how does it help?
Let's see if we can drive some parallel. The same way you would download, maybe Netflix or some other apps what do you call it, Spotify to listen to music. We're basically are a gaming platform where you can connect with the community, and you play your favorite games. Right now, that doesn't mean you need us to play your game, but we create these competitions, like what we were talking about earlier, right? So if you are someone who is a bit more interested in not just hanging out there and playing Free Fire on your own, you could come and join us, and we would have a Free Fire competition every other day, every weekend, where you would then compete against others. And we do this across multiple games. Our largest one is Arena of Valor, which is a very large game here in Thailand. Again, by Arena. And we do it with, but we just recently started doing things for Pokemon, which I'm sure you kind of remember the craze when Pokemon first started a couple of years ago, was the new version, not the original stuff. And so again, that game is still very popular here. Of course, it's completely different than any of these other games. But so we create competitions where you can compete and you win points. You can either win Harbor points, which you can then use to redeem for items and goodies. So it's like going to the fair, the old days, and you win some points and then you get yourself a teddy bear or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We have the virtual versions of that, I guess. But you also can win actual cash, right? So we have, real prize money on this. Our largest competition so far had $1 million baht prize money. Right? That's decent money in Thailand. And this was what we would call a semi-pro league for Arena of Valor. We had over 2,000 teams who signed up. So it was a long road. And about a week or two ago, I think we finished it. And the winning team walked away with 400,000 baht prize pool. So that's, that is for that you have to be, you take this serious, and you'll be, as a team, be practicing, many hours a day, the same way you would practice any other sport or anything you do where you want to be really good at. So those kids at that level, they might have the ambition to one day to be a pro gamer and take this serious. But the 2,000 teams, of course, some were just there to have fun, but just go, okay, this sounds like fun. And, you never know, maybe we're good enough and just give it a try. So we had qualification rounds, and then we played a league level, very similar to the actual pro league. It ran in parallel with the pro league. But then we had also stuff on the weekends where it's 10,000 baht, 20,000 baht, 5,000 baht, different types of games, different types of competitions where you just come and you hang out. And I would compare it a bit like if you're a runner, and there's lots of 10K runs and a marathon here and other kind of competition, or triathlons, where you sign up for, right? And if you're good enough, yes, you win little prizes, and you feel good about it, doing well and beating others. And many others are just there to have a bit of fun, right? And be part of the competition and get a medal at the end because you finished, right? And so that's a bit of both, right? So we have serious gamers, of course, but you also have the guys who just enjoy having a bit of a competition, but they also know they're never going to win anything probably.
You're working with PSG Esports ROV. Who are they?
Well, PSG stands for Paris Saint-Germain, as the big famous football club from Paris, from France, which now has, of course, Mr. Messi and Neymar, and I was going to say Ronaldo, and Mbappe and other huge players there. So PSG, as a football club, many years ago, and it's about 4 or 5 years back now, started to get into gaming and esports, realizing that as a club, it's a great way for them to expand their presence and again, capture a different audience, a different fan base globally. And they've done really well with it. One of their teams just was in the final of the international, the Dota competition I mentioned earlier, where they came second in the competition. So they walked away with about $5 million. So they're, in essence, are the second best team in the world right now in Dota. So that's obviously, pretty cool stuff, and super exciting for those guys. Now, our team here plays Arena of Valor, so it's called PSG ROV. And I say, and again, it's just for to not cause more confusion. The game which is called Arena Velo AOV. In Thailand, it's called ROV, but it has a slightly different acronym to it. There's some history behind it, which we don't need to go into. To make it even more confusing, maybe, but it's important to understand the scale of this. The game originates out of China, and in China, it's called Honor of Kings, or HOK. And it is the #1 mobile game in China. So you have 100 million people playing it daily there in China. So it's a very, very big game. Again, as I said, owned by Tencent. So here in Thailand, it's again probably the largest game, one of the largest games in the country. It is the most structured game where there is a proper pro league. And the Pro League is a franchise league. So think of it like the NBA or the NFL, the American leagues, where you have to buy a slot or you buy a team to get into it. You don't just have a team and compete, and you just get there by merits, purely by maybe beating others. Like, let's say, European football, where you have to promote yourself up from whatever division you maybe started. So here you buy a slot, you get in there. And so that's what we did. We partnered up with PSG. So PSG is the brand. We are the local licensing partner on the ground to create to basically run and manage the team. We just started. So we just joined the last season. We came in a bit late in terms of preparation. So we basically just got the team together as good as we could. And, we started okay and then had tailed off a little bit at the end. But the more interesting part is that, as a brand, of course, coming here with Paris Saint-Germain, which is a big football club, and we were automatically, to some degree, the biggest probably name in the league, right? The other teams are a combination of either other. Funny enough, 2 others are linked to football clubs as well. One is Buriram, which of course is a big club here in Thailand, and then Valencia, which is a smaller, Spanish team. So they're in there as well. So we have, let's say, other football clubs who also play this game, and then the other competitors or other teams are, it's called traditional esports team. They don't do anything else, right? They have multiple teams, probably in different games. And that's all they do. And they might operate not just here in Thailand, but come out of Hong Kong or Singapore or other places with other teams in different parts of the world. So that's the mix. We all compete, as I said, in a particular game. The winner, the prize money in this competition this year was 10 million baht. Which is, again, decent money to play for. Then you qualify for next levels beyond. And the next one is what's called AIC. It's the Arena Velo International Championship. The prize money there is $1 million US. And next year we'll have a new big World Cup, which combines the game in China and the international game, the AOV game with HOK. And Tencent put $8 million US on it. So again, just throwing these numbers out to give people a sense that this is not kids play, right? This is serious stuff, and both the players and teams can earn some significant amount of money if you are successful.
What's the future of esports and gaming in Thailand?
Well, what we see that the 2 things. One is it is being recognized officially by the government already. So that is already a good step, that it's literally on the same par now as traditional sports. That doesn't mean it gets the same amount of attention and or funding yet, but that's not just in Thailand, but it's happening across Asia in general. Asia is quite a bit ahead of it than maybe other parts of the world. But, you start to see, I'm sure you're familiar with the SEA Games or Asian Games or these type of competitions in the region here. You now have an esports element to it, right? Where you have teams competing for medals at these games. So that automatically gets it away from this is just this little, they're in their own little world. They are now getting sort of mixed up or integrated into the larger sporting community. And that one day you'll have a gold medal winner at the Asian Games coming from Thailand, or a team in most cases. And they'll be celebrated as big as whatever other competition it maybe is, right? In some cases, maybe even bigger in the gaming community, right? So that's happening. There's a push towards the Olympics. They've started twiddling around with it, but they're not quite there yet. So on one side, you have that kind of acknowledgement there. And then, as I said, it is a large and vibrant industry. Everything from things we do in Hubber to, of course, what we are on a pro level there, delivering, there are programmers, there are marketing people, there are, people have to understand how to bring advertisers into it now. Digital agencies who we work with, who show what we deliver, how much eyeballs we create, and why a brand should be there. So from a marketing point of view, it's if you are, let's say, the chief marketing officer or marketing director in a company, and if you're not paying attention to this or at least starting to understand it, I think you are going to either lose your job or you're going to miss out in a massive way. That audience is large. Here in Thailand, just give you the numbers, they did many surveys here, and one of them is that 30 million out of the entire population consider themselves gamers, as I said, in a larger, overall sense. Probably about 15-20% of that are more hardcore, which that's called an esports side. But 30 million people saying I'm a gamer, that's a lot of people. There won't be many other things you find which will be that large of a community, right? And Thailand ranks across all statistics I constantly see is always in the top 3 of people playing games, how many hours they play, how serious they are, etc. Right? So this isn't just something you can ignore as a brand owner. It is something you need to get your head around and need to get it out really quickly. There are many ways to get involved in it. I'm not saying there's only one route and it's only Hubber or PSG there. No, there are many ways. You can deal directly with developers or with the publishers, and you'll be fully embedded in a game itself. That's one way, of course. That's sort of the gaming side of it. Then, of course, as I said, you partner with teams, you partner with an influencer or with a gamer, or with platforms like Hubber to basically communicate to that audience. And because it's digitally, the beautiful part, of course, is it's measurable, right? Much more than traditional sports can be. That's the part I like most about it.
Thank you, Marcus.
Seeking sponsors. Seeking an opportunity to sponsor. Looking to maximize an already sponsored opportunity? Visit paulpaul.co.th, the sponsorship experts.
Gaming and esports is a really interesting sector and becoming a global force. What's your view, Paul?
Absolutely, Jay. No longer simply a niche form of entertainment for so-called nerds, gaming and esports have become a significant force in global entertainment. We take a look at the latest data from YouGov. Last year was one of the most successful in gaming history yet, according to a new report by YouGov. Data shows that on average, 4 in 10 gamers have been playing more in 2020 than the year before, driven by the global pandemic. However, beyond the pandemic, the success of gaming is an extension of its significance as a force in mainstream entertainment, with revenues comfortably exceeding those of global film, TV and digital music. The report covers 24 global markets and looks at the types of platforms, frequency, games and habits. When it comes to platforms, mobile gamers, those who play on a smartphone or tablet, reign supreme, comfortably outnumbering console and PC gamers. Germany, for example, has twice as many mobile gamers as console gamers, 47% versus 23%. In Thailand, the difference is even starker. Just 12% play on consoles compared to 78% who use a smartphone or tablet. So how often do smartphone gamers play? The report categorizes gamers into 4 categories: light, less than 1 hour per week; moderate, 1 to 10 hours per week; heavy, 10 to 25 hours per week; and heavy plus, more than 25 hours per week. According to the data, moderate gamers account for over half of smartphone players in every country. The countries or territories with the most heavy plus gamers amongst those who play on smartphones or tablets are China and Hong Kong, with 22 and 20% respectively. The report also covers gaming video content, GVC, which has developed its own distinct online subculture and even its own celebrities. Platforms like YouTube, iQIYI, and Twitch have become known for their streaming accounts that attract millions of viewers. The proportion of gamers who actively engage with streaming platforms, those who watch videos, upload their own content, or both, varies greatly from market to market. YouTube gaming is by far the most popular platform, with Southeast Asia accounting for the top 4 markets in terms of engagement. Vietnam 64%, Indonesia 58%, Thailand 49% and Malaysia 48%. Video game competitions, also known as esports, is a multi-million-dollar industry with its own sponsors, leagues and competitors, attracting major investment from within and outside the industry. More recently, the traditional sport world has also entered esports in a big way. For example, as we heard from Marcus, Paris Saint-Germain, one of the most celebrated sports brands in the world, is launching a new Thai esports team, PSG Esports ROV. Generally speaking, familiarity with esports is greater in Asia and Scandinavia, resulting in higher engagement in those markets.
As like many other industries, you get influencers within the industry. You have written about the power of gaming influencers in the latest newsletter. How do you see these shaping the world of gaming moving forward?
Gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry and has created a sub-industry of industry-specific influencers, or KOLs, key opinion leaders, who wield considerable power in shaping the world of gaming. Gone are the days when gaming was considered a niche, nerd activity. Today is not uncommon for gaming influencers primarily known for live streaming or posting videos of themselves playing video games and or commenting on video games via social media, to have millions of followers. In fact, new data from YouGov shows that over 4 in 10 of the entire global adult population now follow a social media influencer across a range of interests, and almost 1 in 10 consumers now follow a gaming influencer. That number increases to 17% amongst those aged 18 to 34 and 23% amongst men aged 18 to 34. According to the new report by YouGov, the clout of influencers differs between regions. With one of the highest internet penetrations in the world, the UAE has the biggest percentage of influencer followers at 75%, followed by Indonesia at 73%. In general, countries with younger populations have a higher percentage of influencer followers than countries with older populations, and Asian countries typically have a higher percentage of influencer followers than countries in Europe. When it comes to industry, food is by far the biggest category globally at 16%, with health being the next with 12%. Gaming influencers come in at 9%, however it is one of the fastest growing categories, and that number increases significantly for those between 18 to 24. Furthermore, if we look at men, gaming influencers are the top influencer group, on par with sport, music and food. There is an increase in the number of game streamers who post content, with more and more mid-sized and micro-influencers entering the market. According to data from Stream Hatchet, Twitch had 4.3 million channels posting live gaming content in Q3 2019. That number had reached 11.4 million in Q2 2021. Not surprisingly, the number of viewers is also increasing. Since Q3 2019, the number of hours spent consuming live gaming content has more than doubled, from 3.8 billion hours to 8 billion hours in Q2 2021. Twitch is by far the largest platform, driving 7 billion hours in Q2 2021 alone.
The whole gaming and esports industry is really exciting, and with technology continuing to develop, I can only see this growing. Now, moving away from one of the fastest growing industries to one of the world's fastest growing fighting events, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Can you tell us a little more about the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships Thailand, Paul?
One of the world's fastest growing fighting events, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is bringing the heat to Thailand in 2022. Expect high intensity and fast-paced action. Founded by former professional boxer David Feldman, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, is an entertainment spectacular featuring high levels of intensity and speed. Since its foundation, BKFC has organised over 300 professional boxing and mixed martial arts events, featuring fighters such as Roy Jones Jr., Larry Holmes, Danny Garcia, and more top fighters from around the world. In Thailand, BKFC is operated by former MMA champion Nick Chapman and his business partner Vatanai Vatanakul, president of Royal Cliff Hotel Group and Peach Paddy Exhibition and Convention Hall. Both are committed to establish BKFC Thailand as one of the largest combat sports events in Asia. BKFC fights in Thailand will take place in a custom-built circular 4-rope ring designed to encourage fast-paced and exciting action. Only seasoned and established fighting professionals in boxing, MMA, kickboxing or Muay Thai are allowed to compete, and fighters will predominantly be Asian, Thai, Chinese, Vietnamese, Singaporean, with some Western nationalities competing. BKFC is dedicated to preserving the proud history of bare knuckle fighting while minimising the risk to the athletes. Contrary to other bare knuckle fights, BKFC does not allow fighters to wrap their hands within 1 inch of the knuckle, creating a true expression of the fighting discipline. BKFC has established a strong online presence with an online reach of more than 100 million. Preliminary bouts on Facebook and YouTube regularly amass over 500,000 live viewers per event, while PPV attracts more than 300,000 live viewers and 25 million viewers in total rebroadcast.
What commercial sponsorship and partnership opportunities are available for those interested in this championship?
We have created a package of comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership programs especially for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Thailand 2022, including 1 title and 1 presenting sponsor with naming rights to the event, 1 host sponsor which has already been sold to the Royal Cliff Hotels Group and Peach Paddy Exhibition and Convention Hall, 6 official partners from non-competing categories, up to 6 official suppliers providing goods and services essential to the event, up to 6 official media partners providing advertising and guaranteed editorial essential to the event, along with local partners, Fight Industry Partners and Bare Knuckle Fight Club Thailand, VVIP and VIP corporate hospitality packages.
Now finally, as we said at the start, it's been a very difficult time for many industries, and one that has been hit hard are charities. And so anything that can help the way charities are supported is great news. And you're working with the Together Revolution. Can you tell us more about this exciting new fundraising model?
Transforming the way the world gives, the Together Revolution is a new direct-to-cause digital platform and fundraising model. With a mission to protect and empower children to fulfill their true potential, the organisation uses retail to turn the humble t-shirt into a movement. Giving to charitable causes lags significantly behind spending on consumer goods. Many people would rather spend $20 on a t-shirt than give $2 to a charity. As a result, the charitable sector is struggling to raise money for important causes, while the retail sector enjoys and hoards extreme wealth. The Together Revolution aims to channel some of the wealth from the retail sector to the so-called third sector by creating a digital platform that targets the multi-million-dollar t-shirt industry. 50% of sales will be given to charitable causes, while 50% will be retained. The organisation is targeting a 1% market share of the $200 billion t-shirt industry. The model will give charitable causes a platform, a voice, and an additional fundraising platform, consumers a reason to connect, and retailers a unique sales proposition. The causes will be those supporting vulnerable children, and consumers can browse a database of vetted local and international causes, all propose a cause to be registered and benefit. The site will function as an e-commerce platform, and consumers will be able to choose between various product lines, including their own brand, known brand, merchandise, custom brand, and campaign brand.
What commercial, sponsorship and partnership opportunities are available for those interested in the Together Revolution?
Again, Jay, we have created a package of comprehensive commercial sponsorship and partnership programs, especially for the Together Revolution 2022-2023, including 10 official founding sponsors, official business partners for large non-SME businesses, official SME partners, along with charity and cause-related packages and other opportunities to get involved.
So if anyone is interested in any of these commercial, sponsorship and partnership opportunities, what should they do?
We can be contacted through our website, paulpool.co.th, by email info@paulpool.co.th, or keeping with the audio vibe, pick up the telephone and dial +66 2622 0605 or 0606 or 0607.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Jay. I look forward to speaking with you again in the new year. We wish everybody a prosperous 2022. Happy holidays.